Mini vlog! Mayong adlaw, leaders! So for today's video presentation, we will discuss none other than Dr. Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Yolanda, our national hero and a symbol for fight for our nation's independence. So let's get started.
Okay.
Have you ever wondered how the early life of Dr. Jose Rizal, a figure of such historical significance in the Philippines, shaped the man he became? Today, we will delve into the childhood and family history of this influential figure, painting a vivid picture of his formative years. Born on the 90th day of June in the year 1861, Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Yolanda, or simply Dr. Jose Rizal, came into the world in the town of Calamba, Laguna in the Philippines. He was the seventh of the 11 children in a well-off family who valued education and instilled this passion in their children from a young age. His father, Francisco Mercado, was a hard-working farmer who inspired a sense of diligence in young Rizal. Did you know that Dr. Jose Rizal was a man of many accomplishments? He was just a linguist, a novelist, a poet, a scientist, a doctor, a painter, an educator, a reformer, and he is also a visionary. He left his people his greatest patriotic poem, Mi Ultimo Adios, to serve as an inspiration for us and for the next generations.
Oh my God! Wow!
Chodora Alonso was a remarkable woman of intellect and sophistication who served as Rizal's first teacher. It was she who sparked his interest in literature, introducing him to the world of letters and the power of the written word. Rizal's early years were spent in the idyllic rural setting of Calamba, Laguna. The lush green fields, the serene Laguna de Bay, and the majestic Mount Makiling all played a part in shaping his love for the motherland. At the tender age of 3, Jose Rizal learned the alphabet and prayers from his mother, and by 5 he could read and write. His mother's stories about Filipino legends and folklore fueled his imagination and fostered a deep love for his cultural heritage. Education remained the focal point in his life. At 7, Jose Rizal started attending a private school in Binyan. The lessons he learned and the experience he had during this time played a significant role in his development. Despite Rizal's family's relative affluence, life wasn't always smooth sailing. The Rizal family faced their
Huh? What?
The Rizal family faced their fair share of adversity. Their strong bond and collective resilience saw them through numerous trials, including false accusations and exile. These experiences profoundly impacted Rizal, shaping his views on social justice and fueling his fight for reform. So in summary, Dr. Jose Rizal's early life and family painted a vibrant tapestry of experiences that shaped him into the man he became. Born into a family that valued education, his passion for learning was ignited from a young age. His parents, Francisco Mercado and Chodora Alonso, played an instrumental role in his development, instilling in him the values of diligence and resilience and love for the motherland. His childhood in Calamba alongside his schooling in Binyan provided a rich and nurturing environment that fostered his intellectual growth. The adversities faced by the Rizal family further shaped his perspective, fueling his fight for the social justice and reform. So that's it! So Ira, can I ask you something? Yeah, sure, what's that? So how did you apply the story of Dr. Jose Rizal in your life? First, let me tell you the moral lesson in Rizal's life.
Okay.
The moral lesson was loving of our country. A quote says, "My dream was my country's prosperity." Dedication to one's duty was an admirable virtue of Rizal, in saying that it is a man's duty to seek his own perfection. Rizal set an idea for man to attain. He elaborated on this idealism. Despite all odds, there's a ton of priceless lessons from Dr. Rizal's life that we can apply to our own life too. Since Rizal exemplified the best qualities of being a Filipino, we as students can too. Second, we should make the most of our time, keep our personal lives separate from our work and studies, and concentrate on our life goals. Finally, but just as importantly, Rizal taught us that generosity is a virtue. So going back to the question, what lesson did we really learn from Dr. Jose Rizal's story? What do you think? First on the line was the concern for the welfare of others. As a young boy, he diligently obeyed his mother's important life lessons to become a kind person and not to think only of himself but always to think about the welfare of the others also. This was apparent until we lost Dr. Jose Rizal when he was executed in 1896. One famous quote of Rizal in Noli Me Tangere was, "Embrace your country's flaws using different strategies towards progress and growth, helping your country instead of giving up on it." The Philippines in the 19th century is not far from the Philippines in the 20th century or the 21st century, or the time that we are now. It is still surrounded with embedded with flaws. Flaws in the law, flaws in the government, flaws in every aspect we could think of. However, we cannot let ourselves to be unmotivated for life. Rizal never lost hope even when the Spaniards took a lot from his family. He embraced and used those flaws to advocate for freedom and national progress. He used those flaws to inspire a revolution. He did not give up even if it cost him his life. Remember that there is no such thing as a perfect country, but there should be a progressive one. My own values are in line with Rizal's political activism as well. He felt that it is critical to defend morality even in the face of injustice. He firmly believed that political activism and education were the paths to social justice and equality. And he was an outspoken supporter of Filipino independence and the rights of the Filipino people. As a student, I want to positively influence the world and help the Philippines and its people progress and prosper by adhering to Rizal's values of education, hard work, and political activism. Thank you. Wow, that's a good thing to hear, Ira. So next time you think of Dr. Jose Rizal, remember the young boy from Calamba whose early life experiences helped to mold him into the most influential figures in our history. Once again, this is Ira Deliano Diaz telling you that education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. Thank you and bye-bye!